A new update arrived for the Vivo X100 Pro, and this new update brings in a new camera mode called the Humanistic camera mode. But what is this? So let's figure it out here on my X100 Pro. When you open up the camera app the first time after installing the update, the only thing that you will notice is a new button here down below. If you press on this one, you will go and enter Humanistic mode. Humanistic mode is like a street snap kind of mode. So what it will allow you is set up various different things here on the left. As you can see here, I have chosen the focal length, and we have 24, 28, 35, 50 and 85. So you notice immediately that we have a bit of limitation. So no ultra wide angle, and also the 100mm that the X100 Pro is famous for is not available. I like to shoot in 35mm, however, which is a nice focal length for street photography. Then we have exposure compensation here that we can easily change with one hand, and we can always reset it. We have shutter speed that we can set up to whatever we like to, especially useful for street photography. So you don't want to rely on automatic shutter speed, but yeah, you can set automatically on and off. Then we have a bokeh that we can enable and disable here. So by default, I think it is disabled if you choose the Zeiss color profile. And then we have a white balance that we can set up also the way we like, or we can set up it to auto. And talking about Zeiss mode, you can see on the top right corner there we have different modes there, and by default I think it is not using Zeiss natural or vivid or black and white, it's using textured, and this textured mode is adding a little bit of vignetting, and also by default I think has the bokeh set to f4. There you can see it. Yes, by default it has bokeh set to f4, which is an artificial bokeh that will add to your images. And they come out a little bit artistic, a little bit Leica looking actually. So it reminds me a lot of the quick shot mode on the Xiaomi Ultra devices. On the top we have an information button. Sadly this information will give you only information in Chinese, but you can translate it and it's pretty easy here. Then we have a display button, which will, just like a DSLR, show you the histogram big here, the EV compensation, as well as some other options here, which is quite nice. And you see the date and time, and also the viewfinder at the end, a little preview. Then we have the possibility to set everything to the defaults. Then we have the possibility to change to spot metering instead of center weighted metering. We can turn on auto HDR. By default it's turned off, so if you don't like the overexposed sky, then you can turn on HDR, but notice that it will take a little bit of processing time, so fast moving subjects might become a bit blurry. So this is why by default I think it's turned off. And we have another button here for the hyperfocal distance that should turn off. You can where is it? Hyperfocal distance. It will go, I think, to f16 then. I don't know what it's doing then in hyperfocal distance. So it's like very, very sharp. And let's turn it on again. That will turn off the aperture, and everything should be sharp, what's in a distance. But in my case, everything comes out blurry for some reason. Maybe I'm too, maybe this is working and is sharp and there in the background, so a bit further away stuff then appears to be sharp. So it did basically disable autofocus, and it might work for you. For me it doesn't work so much. Maybe my subjects are a bit too close to me. Otherwise, we have the shutter button, we have the filters that we can set up, and we have a preview window of the last photos that I took. And on the left side, we have like a basic option, which does not mean that we are in basic mode or something like that. It just means we have presets that we can set up. Just like on a real camera, we have the possibility to set up various different presets here, like the basic one that we have right now, but we can also save our settings as custom 1 settings and custom 2 settings and apply them later on. So if you have like a focal length that you like 85mm for portraits, and a specific shutter speed setup and maybe a specific filter even, you can save it here and then reapply it later on, which is quite nice. Yeah, those are basically the settings and options here, but there's another settings button down below. If you press on this, we get some basic settings, like we can turn on grid lines. By default, I think they're turned off. We have the possibility to save the Humanistic Street Snap camera status. As you can see here, when you enter the camera, keep the Humanistic Street Snap camera used the last time instead of resetting to the Photos app. So if you don't want to use the normal camera app, you can turn this on. Otherwise, we have the humanistic watermark. By default, it's a very minimalistic one. We can tune it to be a little bit of more Vivo-like style. And we can also turn it off or use another style if we like to use it. And we can also have like a more pronounced style there as well. So these are the settings that we have here, which is quite nice. I like to have it turned off because I can add it later on in editing as well. Then we have the shutter type, which is like a little bit of something to play around with. You can see we have various different shutter buttons that we can set up here the way we like it. And we have a shutter signature that we can write in there, even our own signature if you want to have your own signature. Like I want LL Tech View. So I have now LL Tech View written in a fancy language, fancy style there. So yeah, if you want this to be this is working there. We can set up the bokeh flare. So as we have aperture that we can set, because we have no variable aperture here, but it's just a virtual aperture, we have also the possibility to set the bokeh. By default, it's using natural, but we can choose one of those size ones. I like the Sonar one, so this is why Sonar one was selected. But if you like the cinematic one, you can also select the cinematic one, and then you get cinematic kind of bokeh there. And this is how it will look like. As you can see, LL Tech View, shutter button. Hopefully I didn't misspell it. And yeah, this is now the possibility how you can take snapshots if you want to. And maybe let's go to F4 here. Maybe even F2. And let's photograph something like this Xiaomi Mix Flip that I have here. Let's see if it works out. As you can see with this vignetting, it's not by accident that I'm photographing a Xiaomi device here, but because it's reminding me a lot of the Xiaomi Leica look here. But what do you think about this one here? This is the Humanistic Street Snap Mode that has been added to the Vivo X100 Ultra. Actually, the Vivo X100 Pro and the Vivo X100 Ultra comes with it pre-installed. So if you never figured it out on the X100 Ultra, this is your tutorial and your entry level to the Humanistic Street Snap Mode. That's everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time. Bye.